Pickleball Librarian coming to you with 3 great surprises this Halloween season. You know, I like to get my spooky on, but this year my spooky came down with some action and some comedy too. Oh, it was such a good time. First thing I'm going to talk about, Slashback. This is crazy because it takes place a few miles from the Arctic Circle. I mean, this place called Pang in the middle of nowhere, less than 1,500 people, and man, it's like aliens meet Stand By Me. And you got these girls of Pang that become warriors. They Inuit, and they get their ancient weapons, and they get the weapons that their parents have, which isn't much, and they fight the aliens, and they practically save the world. And my favorite line in the whole movie, don't f*** with the girls of Pang. This is a very low-budget sci-fi horror film, but I loved it. I found some of the teenage Inuit humor just cheesy, but enough to lift my spirits. The area of Pang, the cinematography was great. And the book, Ghost Tamers, which I'm going to talk about next, it takes place in Chicago. And I got to tell you, Chicago, I felt like I was there. And I felt that Chicago was a character in the book. Ray Lee was working at a comedy club, trying to make it as a stand-up comic. And she's getting on the train with her best friend right after work. But something bad happened. The train derails and just about everyone on it is killed. Except somebody pulls her out of the train and saves her life and throws her body onto the snow. But when you're looking at pictures of it, there's no footprints, although you see her feet being dragged. That's some spooky shit. She actually had a ghost looking out for her. And on top of all this, on the train she was with her best friend. So she lost her best friend. And this is a lot of story about grief too, loss. And as you learn more about the story, there's a lot of family issues going on here. There's a lot about anger, resentment, and man, it's real deep. Now, of course, there's a friendly ghost, but there's also a demonic ghost that really wants to hurt her. So the main character has to learn how to fight. And I got to tell you, the fight scenes are amazing because Meredith Lyons, the real life author of this, she's actually been a martial art champion. And when you're reading the fight scenes, pow, left, right, left, right. I mean, she really wants to beat the shit out of the ghost and she goes all out. It's just great action scenes. While I'm reading the book, I didn't really like the main character at first. She seemed a little self-centered, you know, at the first half, but throughout this book, you could see her growing and coming together. So this is a book where you're going to read the first half of it. You're not going to totally love it. You'll like it. I mean, it will keep you going. But as you get to the resolution, everything's coming together. You got some Cajun magic going on. You got the ghost going on. Also some comedy because there's a lot of funny banter between Rayleigh and her ghosts. It's just hilarious how they go back and forth. Rayleigh looks up this ghost hunter, ghost buster outfit that's just a bunch of frauds, and the guy who's in charge of it, he's more interested in getting into her pants than doing some ghost busting. I mean, whatever he wants to bust, it ain't the ghost. Check out Ghost Tamer by Meredith Lyons. Great book. The action scenes are there. I mean, this is another story about a kick-ass gal just doing it in the world. The third thing that brings action this holiday season is Pickleball Apes Pro Line Energy Paddle. If the girls of Pang or the Ghost Tamer was going to play pickleball, they'll probably get this kick-ass action-oriented paddle. I mean, it's all power. It's there to kick ass and take names. And yes, it does have control. In Pickleball Apes, a person can go ape for your paddles. And by the way, if you use the code Pickleball Librarian, you can go ape because you'll have a huge discount. The Pro Line Energy Paddle from Pickleball Apes is definitely Pickleball Librarian approved.